Hello everyone, this is Visual Novel Gamer here. I am back with Kinkoi Golden Lover. If I sound a little different, I'm sick. So please be okay with that. I'll feel better in a few days. But yeah. We're gonna continue Sylvie's route today. The dicey mood between us linger all throughout lunch period. As expected, I had just kept following Sylvie with my eyes. I didn't want her to leave, nor did I want her to approach me either. I was being really selfish, I know. For that matter. Google. Dot. My jealousy was the one thing on full blast. With that, this helpless situation continued. Why did she hesitate to say that? Lunch at Sylvie's place. Oh god, it's gonna be like an 8-course meal and she's still gonna be hungry. What do you have planned at the end of the month? Under 50 people. Okay. She's gonna say... Is she gonna say ramen? Yep. Knew it. Dot. Things had escalated quickly. She's looking at me. Huh? This sure put me on the spot. I wanted to eat the sushi, and there was no telling how many times I'd get to eat such a luxurious meal in my lifetime. However, given who would be the primary focus of that lunch party, ... I'll take it past this time. Invite me next time, okay? Come on, my characters just keep hurting Sylvie like this. Now everyone's noticing. I still didn't have the nerve to meet this Iroh guy. Come on, look how sad she is. ... After I turned her down, Sylvie and I forced some uncomfortable smiles. The awful ambience lingered. Maybe I turned her down the wrong way. I wonder why that was quiet.
市松くんはともかくクルスクラウンさんがああもあっさり引き下がるなんて
Come on, it's so noticeable everyone else is starting to notice now.
確かにいつもならどうしてもダメって食い下がるよね。あれ反則ですよね。可愛すぎて同性相手に鼻血出そうになったのは初めてです。
Nosebleed.
まああはは、いろいろもろもろあるんだよ人生は。
Dot dot dot.
あら、あのね。
Yeah?
明日、諦めるとして、来週の水曜日はどうかしら。授業の後、放課後、時間が欲しいの。夕食一緒にしたいわ。その献立はこちらで決められないからお寿司にできるかはわからないんだけど、オーロに会ってほしい人がいるの。
Sure. I didn't quite understand what was going on, but the way she urged me on was incredibly intense. I nodded in agreement, mostly on reflex.
よかった。
Oh. Sylvie drew in close and squeezed my hand.
なんだいつも通りか。あの天然小悪魔クルスクラウン様らしいですわ。あれもやられるとマストでドキッとするよね。
I ended up caving in. Next Wednesday, huh? The day of the week was irrelevant, but would I end up meeting Iroh when that time came? I had to prepare myself emotionally by then. But the circumstances weren't especially kind to me. Not only had I made plans with her for next Wednesday, to make matters
明
worse,
日時間はありますわね。私たちの屋敷へ行きますわよ。イロへと言って、あなたが目標にすべき紳士のマナーを心得た男が参りますの。一度会っておくとよろしいですわ。
oh yeah, she doesn't know. Right. Whenever I managed to escape, another bombshell kept getting hurled at me from another direction. But tomorrow I...
ないでしょ。
Uh-oh. Right. This girl had a handle on my schedule.
ちょうど良い機会ですわ。私としては完璧に仕込んでいるつもりですが、騎士員の者たちにもあなたを査定させます。
She just wants to show me off.
私が磨きをかけた男がどの程度上流階級に通用するかのテストにもなりますわ。
Oh. To top it all off, Mina-chan was excited for entirely separate reasons. Now that it has come to this, there was no way out. I owe her for everything she has taught me lately, too. In the worst case, this etiquette inspection itself would only result in being laughed at if I mess up. That was fine, but... Iroh-san, Sylvie's childhood friend. I'd sooner avoid embarrassing myself in front of him. They trapped me.
金色ラブリッチェ。
Sylvie 100% asked her to do that. Sortilich had lively diplomatic relationships with Japan at present, but that was only for around the last decade. Although there may have been exchanges between both countries, surely that brought about some level of tension between their people too. As a result, very few residents travel back and forth, and only a single embassy in Tokyo have been erected as a foreign admissible hall. Additionally, there was a severe lack of consul or otherwise, like a standard office building in one of the bigger cities like Osaka or Nagoya. However, a single consulate had been built several years ago here in Hanamucha. Well, I bet it was a villa exclusive for Sylvie's family to live in. With that said, the Vienna Conference or something like that was seemingly in effect, so it wasn't a place Japanese residents could enter at a moment's notice.
いらっしゃ
But you could obviously get in if invited by a princess.
い。いらっしゃい、あやか。来てくれたのね。みんながどうしてもって言うんだもの。んなこと言って、いつになく素直に来たくせに。ちょっと下調べしたかっただけよ。
Mm-hmm.
レーナもいらっしゃい。あら、そういえば結構久しぶりね。春夏はよく来たけど最近は少なかったかな。もっと来てくれればいいのに。私みたいな庶民がでかすぎて落ち着かないんよ。そして
Sorry for showing up after what I said yesterday.
大歓迎よ。
She was close. For whatever reason, Sylvie seemed overjoyed that I came. Oh well, it was great as long as she was happy. It was great, but...
で、その、イロエさんは
that was what had me concerned.
ちょうど今到着したところです。イロエ。
The inner doorway imposingly opened with a cling.
はじめまして。
Those blue eyes are... I like the detail on the blue eyes. ... His face is a little weird in my opinion, but that's it.
ガチのイケメン。
An unmistakably beautiful man walked through the door. He was a little over 180 centimeters tall, and despite how thin he looked, his chest and upper arms were moderately muscular, a real lean yet toned build type. Here I hope his photo had been doctored, and that chiseled face would be on the part of a pipsqueak, or he had a belly that bulged out like yoga yoga?
久しぶり、ヒロエ。
ご無沙汰しております、シルビア王女。イロエ・ディ・カバレロイスタ、推賛いたしました。
The handsome man respectfully went down on one knee and bowed his head. He waited for Sylvie to signal that it was okay to get up, then finally stood. What was that? I never heard of this.
あれは騎士としての忠誠の挨拶。あなたは覚えなくて結構。
This is her professional wear, okay. A green dress, a purple stone in her tiara, and those green flowers all over. Oh, and a big red bow. I like that. This was that was terrifying. I thought it was some crazy form of etiquette that I hadn't learned yet. Wait. Cannibala?
おや、言っていませんでしたか？
Cannibala?
イロエは私の兄です。
Whoa. The big brother of Sylvie's most trustworthy imperial knight. Ellie's son was a knight, but was also the daughter of a high-status family, which would make her brother another member of the same prestige. My odds of success just sank even lower.
数年前までは歴代最年少で騎士の名を襲名したと国で評判になった男ですわ。その後すぐ誰かさんが記録を更新して話は廃れましたけど。
I don't like that green on her though. I don't like it.
私の叙勲はイロエのおまけのような側面が大きいですので。
You two really are high-ranking elites. I was used to her monstrous list of qualifications at this point, so this new information wasn't all that surprising.
11ヶ月ぶり、約1年ぶりね、ヒロエ。
はい。シルビア王女におかれましては、お変わりなくて大変。
もう、ヒロエ、こんな席なんだからそんなにかしこまらなくて結構。いつもみたいにシルビーと呼んで。
そうかい？じゃあ改めて久しぶりだね、シルビー。
Oh?
イロエ、立場をわきまえてください。
いいじゃないか、エル。今は公務外なんだ。
まったくもう。 エルもこのくらい気を緩めていいのに。
できません。
相変わらずだな。
So this sounds like a usual, okay.
シルビーは堅苦しいのが嫌いなんだから、もっと器用に接するのも大事だぞ。他はともかく僕たちの仲なんだから。
ね
まったく、あまり慣れ慣れしいのは困ります。いくらイロエとシルビー様のご関係とはいえ。
え。うわー、親しそうね。
Dot dot dot. Oh. This intimate conversation hit even harder than his high quality introduction, and my heart was being chopped into tiny pieces.
美形だ。イケメンだ。オーラが、五光がすごい。
Enough about his face and stuff.
と、はじめまして皆さん。話には伺っております。皆様シルビーのご学友とのことで。城ヶ崎様に加賀様でよろしかったですか？
知ってくれてる？
お話は伺っていたので、事前に写真で確認させていただきました。
I have a feeling he's gay for some reason. I have a feeling he's like gonna turn out to be gay or something, and my character finds that out.
あら、なめですなめ。良いことだわ。
He even earned Joseph's goodwill within 10 seconds of meeting her.
それで、
He came to me. Calm down, me. It wasn't like he was trying to pick a fight or anything. Give him a clear-spoken greeting and it'll all be over. No need to antagonize him. As long as I let this play out smoothly. Dot dot dot.
オーロ睨まれてる？
He's glaring at me.
あら、
君が一、往路市松くんだね。
Yes? Huh. He looks kinda mad.
話には聞いています。シルビーには随分なことをしてくれたようで。
I do not recall. After subjecting me to an unconcealed glare, he walked away. Okay, time out.
タイムアウト。市松ですわ。
What's going on? Does he hate me from the get-go?
おかしいですわね。あなた何か色へを怒らせることでも？
I never met the guy before.
紳士の態度について色へに教授願おうとしたのに、これじゃ難しそう。ま、でもどうにかなるでしょう。
Despite her confusion, she didn't seem interested in helping me to resolve the matter. Damn it, I guess I was flying solo for this one.
さあ、みんなご飯にしましょう。お寿司ができているわ。しゃー！
That's the only reason why Rena came, was just for the food. And so, the lunch we were promised began.
うおー、うんめえ、マグロー。なにこのトロ。かなりいい状態で空輸しているわね。さすがソルティレージュ。テレビ局とじゃ贅沢の規模が違うわ。
All the ladies were overjoyed.
それで市松くん、君はどんな経緯でシルビーと親しくなっ
And this guy's glued to me.
いや、聞いてはいるのだが、シルビーやエロイナの言い方ではいろいろと齟齬が見られてね。君からの意見も聞きたい。どんな経緯で？
Okay, this guy's seriously pissed at me for some reason. Dot dot dot. The food in my mouth suddenly lost all flavor.
マナーを覚えたか見ようと思いましたが、よく考えたらお寿司の食べ方など私の方が知りませんでしたわ。お箸は使わずに手で食べるのがいいのだそうよ。
城ヶ崎殿以外は皆手で食べていますね。どちらが正解なのでしょう。
They don't care. They're more focused on the sushi.
ところで、さっきからイロエがずっとオーロのそばにいるけど、
Help me, Sylvie.
男の子同士気が合うのね。よかった、仲良くなってくれて。
Help me.
初対面からこんな接し方で 気分が悪いかもしれないのは分かっている。
Huh? This was a sudden shift. He seemed to have maintained a degree of composure, but if he was self-aware and still picking a fight, then that was a problem in its own right.
だがシルビーのことが心配なんだ。小さい頃は大事な妹だったから。
Huh, that's so. But that didn't mean I've done anything to. Oh, hang on a second. Was? Wait, yeah. I swear I said something about Sylvie being adopted earlier or something. I'm not sure. Something about the way he phrased that just now bugs me. Sylvie seemed to think of him like a big brother, so I understand why he referred to her that way. But said Sylvie was a sister to him when she was younger. He made it sound like he didn't think of her that way now. ... Was she more like a fiancé or something now? That sudden realization made my heart grow cold.
今は立場が変わったとはいえ心配だ。血のつながった兄としては。
Wait a second. As her blood-related brother. So that mean Ellie and Sophie are related? Yeah, they're related then.
イロエ
Ellison barged in with an expression that looked extremely menacing. So,
なになにどうかしまして
didn't sound like the others had heard. But I most certainly had. Ellison, what is he talking about?
イロエ
Ellison grimaced and scowled at her brother. They must have wanted that information to get out.
彼には言っていないのか。シルビーの婚約者には知っていただくべきと思うのだが。
Oh, he already thought I was her fiance.
いや
Here came another furious woman, and the prettiest boy was sent flying. Huh? Huh? What's going on? Why would I be Sylvie's fiance and not this hottie with a body?
ごめんなさい、違うのオーラ。イロイは昔から私が清掃の具にならないようにって誰と結婚するかにずっとうるさくて、それで小さい頃のことがあるからオールに責任を取らせるべきだって、これも誤解なんだけど。
I'd never seen Sylvie blow her fuse like this. It's crazy. ... Sorry, can you explain everything to me from the beginning? None of this made any sense.
もうイロイの天然ボケは治りませんわね。
我が兄ながら情けない。
あなたも大概ですけどね。リスタ家の血かしら。
神なる様、
はいはい、失言でしたわ。ゲロ、この後残りなさいな。話したいことがありますわ。
Okay. We only had plans for lunch, so everyone dispersed a couple of hours later. Only I stuck behind.
もう色えたら
申し訳ありません。日本でのことは文面で聞いたばかりでしたので。てっきり往路市松殿はすでにシルビーと婚約まで済ませているとばかり。だって再会してすぐに学園に転入させたとか、市松殿もそれを喜んでいるとか、シルビーの書簡には大好きなオーロがどうとかばっかりで。
About your beloved Oro. He was knocked out cold. So you actually can chop a man in the back of the neck and knock him out in real life.
円髄とかが非常に危険なのでおすすめしませんけどね。
Ah, she's embarrassed. This was a dangerous subject to bring up all of a sudden for my blood pressure, mainly. Firstly, is that dude you knocked out cold really Ellison's brother?
ええ、頼りないうちの兄です。
But earlier,
もうご想像の通りですわ。私にとってもお兄ちゃんなの。昔ね。
dot dot dot. So she said, but
私、元は石田家の人間だったの。
okay, so she was adopted. Huh. Then
エルは私のお姉ちゃんよ。
シルビー様。
お姉様、ご冗談とはいえ。そうね。これはもう口外してはならないことだわ。
there must have been some bigger meaning behind it as they were complaining over a single word. Now that you mention it, you two have the same color hair. Ellie-san, Iro-san, and Sophie all had blonde hair, while Mini-chan was silver hair. If I split them up by lineage, then it would be crystal clear.
この件についてはあまり詮索しないでください。私たちでは口外できないことも多いのです。
Right. I'm sure it wouldn't make sense to me, even if I did hear the specifics of their situation. So Sophie was born into Ellie-san's family, then put up for adoption?
え
Then you weren't a princess from birth.
10年前遊んだ時は一度もお姫様だなんて名乗ってないのよ。
Here I thought I'd forgotten a massive piece of info. But you weren't a princess then. Sophie certainly looked like a princess when we were little, and I probably would have been more careful around her if she were one.
ねえ、オーラ、覚えてる？私が幼女に出ることを言うのは2回目だって。
Huh? When?
やっぱり覚えてなかった。10年前、私が日本に来たのはこの養子縁組の手続きが落ち着くまで私を一度国から遠ざけようとしてのことだったの。
Wow. First I heard of it. Those two were scowling. Her being kept at a distance surely meant that there was some deep, dark meaning behind it, right? Only Sylvie had a carefree smile. ... I shared that feeling. And that's how we met. It was lucky you were put up for adoption then, huh, Sylvie?
え
My comment seemed to have irritated Mini-chan and Ellie-san, but Sophie seemed pleased and smiled sweetly.
当時は煩わしかったけど結果ラッキーだったわ。イチと相馬くん、それにたくさんのお友達ができたんだもの。それに何よりあのキャンプのおかげで自分のことが好きになれたわ。この髪の色が。
Ah. Oh yeah. Do you hate it? Your hair?
はい。
Why?
だってこの髪金色だから。
What's so bad about golden hair? Don't cry. Back then, Sophie hated the color of her hair. If her new adopted family all had silver hair, then she would stick out like a sore thumb. That more or less covered it. And so,
あのキャンプのおかげで私変われたの。髪の色がどんなでも私は私だって。この金髪は魅力的だって何度も言ってくれたから。
Sophie brushed her hair up into the air. Her silky smooth hair fluttered apart with its sun-like radiance.
私の人生を変えてくれた1週間だったわ。だから人生で一番感謝してる。
Sylvie.
相馬くんのことは。
Her, huh? Ree and I had complimented her blonde locks all the time when we were kids, so I could tell Sylvie was referring to one of us over the course of the conversation. But that clearly wasn't me.
もちろんオーラにもよ。私の金髪綺麗だって何度も褒めてくれたわよね。思い出すと照れちゃうくらい。
Yeah, I probably said it more than I should have. I said as much to make her stop crying, but nah, I just probably was hitting on her in our in my own childlike way. She was awful adorable. Dot dot dot.
それでね、国に帰ってイロエとエルにだけは言っちゃったの。あっちで好きな子ができちゃったって。
突然左手薬指に指輪などし始めるから何事かと。
Oh, I see how that happened. That golden ring, huh?
あれは怒られたわね。特にイロエには。
当然です。あまり意味が分かってなかったにしろ、これから王室に席を移そうという時に婚約指輪ですから。
イロエは激怒しておりましたわね。可愛い妹を清掃の具になどさせるものか、シスア家には渡さないと。危うくイスタ家とシスア家で内紛になりかけたわ。ソルティレージュが真っ二つになるところだったわね。
And she's laughing because of it. It's terrifying to hear you say that so casually.
その際、シルビー様にこの指輪を渡した日本人は誰なのかと大変な騒動になりました。
日本での生活を調査したところ、いちなる少年がお姉様と親しかったと分かり、
往路一松の名をイロエが危険視したのはその時からでしょうね。
Ah, so that's why he was hostile. Sorties had me mark on my name since that far back.
縁があるわね、私たち。
It was surreal how carefree we've been about the whole thing, especially since I all but forgotten about it, and Sylvie could only recall the name Ichi. Still, I can't believe that ring turned into such a big deal.
表だってつけられなくなったのはそれが原因よ。まったく困るわ。私と相馬くんにとってとても大事な約束の印なのに。
What promise? ... Iconically, Sonokun, or rather Ri's, ring was currently hanging around my neck in a pendant form as we spoke. Oh yeah, I should probably ask her about that. What sort of promise was it? It had been mentioned before that there was some promise surrounding this ring.
作った時、相馬くんと約束したの。これを将来結婚指輪にしようって。
Now it was all coming together. Sylvie intended to wear it when she and Sonokun got married, while Rina was encouraging Sylvie to use it at our wedding instead. I wanted to tell her the truth, but I needed Ri's permission before I could.
聞きたいことは以上？
Yeah, I was generally satisfied. If I had to pick anything to bring up, though, you know, didn't he fly off the handle a little too fast? Iroh-san stood up.
一松殿、失敬、取り乱しました。しかしこれも貴公がかつて我が国の第9王女であり、当時は自分の妹でもあったシルビーをかどわかしたためだと思っていただきたい。
I'm telling you, I haven't done anything to her. Nobody here was a kidnapper, as the title should be reserved for Ri or Somakun.
しかし10年前のシルビーには日本でよほどのことがあったはず。でなくばあれの説明がつきません。
Not really. That ring was just a part of a camp event. It was an accessory made from piano scraps, clearly not something worth all this fuss. Or so I thought.
指輪のことだけじゃない。あの長かった髪をバッサリ切ってしまうなどよほどのことでしょう。
Ah. He was right. There was something else I didn't know if I recalled at the time. Sylvie cut her hair just as she was about to leave. ... His comment must have jolted Sylvie's memory as she smiled wearily and touched her hair. Long hair looked wonderful on her, and its golden radiance and ample volume made it stand out all the more. Her hair long enough that it would be a devastating loss if it were ever cut. What must have happened for her to chop so much of it off? Iroh and I, as well as Ellie-san and Min-chan, seamlessly turned towards Sylvie. Why had she cut her hair? This appeared to be the one thing that even Ellie-san and Mina-chan, her older and younger sisters, haven't heard. Sylvie's answer? It was laughter, of course. A secret. Who was to hold her index finger up front of her nose.
では市松殿にこっぴどく振られたシルビーが泣きながら過去を断ち切るべく髪を切ったわけでは
ないわ。失礼ね、イロエ。そんな風に思ってたわけ？
申し訳ない。その時日本語の勉強として見ていたドラマでちょうどそのような展開があって。
Did they even have cliché dramas like that a decade ago? Sounded like we cleared up the misunderstanding. Good, good. It was a difficult day. I don't feel depressed anymore, that's for sure. Well, yeah, because you... Never mind. I couldn't say it in front of her. Of all the information I learned today, this was naturally what made me happiest. That Iroh-san, Sophie's closest childhood friend, the tall, handsome, blonde guy, more trustworthy than anyone, was her biological brother. They may not have currently been part of the same family in name, but you could safely say it put him in the most reassuring category possible. That was one rifle down. Don't judge me. You've been judging me the whole time. Don't be that way. A man's heart was a complicated thing. For some reason, she was gazing straight at me. I wasn't sure why, but it made me blush. I turned away out of shyness. She's still hungry. The gluttony's still hungry. Yeah, I didn't. Things had gotten so intense with Iroh-san that I couldn't really taste the food. Uh-oh. I see. That was part of the deal, wasn't it? The entire reason I came here today was to see how well my etiquette was compared to Iroh-san. They didn't teach me anything, though. I hope there's no things that I actually have to answer, because they didn't show me anything. And with that, my return home was postponed a bit longer. I ended up in their care until nightfall. As long as it's not English. My bad, England. Ugh. Can't get a good hold on it. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Gah. It's scattered. The plate screech when the knife scrape against it. I can't pick up this lettuce with a knife. With a fork. Oh, she's gonna kill me.
私先生としての才能はないようですわ。
市松殿、落ち着いてください。
Yes, sir.
サラダはこのように折りたたんで厚みを持たせるとフォークが刺さるようになります。
Oh, I get it. Like this. Is this right? We broke her.
ミナ、悲しそうだわ。
She's gonna flip out on us as soon as we leave.
あれ、つい昨日教えたことですのに。まあまあ。
And look at me, just happy to be there. Just happy to be here.
オーラは日本人だからやっぱりお箸の方が扱いやすいわよね。
To be honest, yeah. Forks are so... Why forks?
落ち着いてください。
お箸もあったわよね。ダメです。使えるわねゲロ。フォークも使えるはずですわよね。
Yes. Min-chan, who had acted as my teacher until today, appeared zealous. It felt like I was being treated like a little kid, but I had to make it work somehow.
続きをお願いしますわ。お次はスープ。これならできますわね。
Yeah, eating soup was easy enough, and was one thing I didn't need formal instruction for. Cream color soup was eventually placed before me, and when I scoop at the broth with my spoon, yep,
正解ですわ。
you don't drink, but eat soup, right? And slurping was a non-starter.
そんなに硬くならなくていいのに。ほっ、日本に来てからパンが美味しくなった気がするわ。
北欧のソルティリージュに比べ良い小麦が手に入るのでしょう。
Sylvie happily munched on the bread that had been brought out for her. Yeah, this was the right time for bread to be served. Let me think. It was impolite to dip it in the soup and eat it. Put butter on. Whoops. Right. First cut the bread into bite-sized pieces, then came the butter. Next came the main course, which consists of fish and meat dishes. This part was a piece of cake. You simply cut the dish into bite-sized pieces, then brought them to your mouth.
ミナったらオールのママみたいよ。確かにひな鳥を見守る心境ですわ。
And a strict one at that. Sophie giggled.
神なる様も随分と市松殿とは親しいご様子で。
It happened in between the fish and meat courses, so there was no time for idle chat. She's been taking good care of me after all. Common sense would suggest having a princess wake you up every morning all while wearing a maid outfit was impossible.
私もミナみたいに寮に行きたいな。
姫様。
Here we go again with this dorm.
わかってます。
神なる様、何かご不便は？
ありませんわ。煩わしくない生活というのも楽しいものよ。
Luckily, the same maid seemed to be free of any hardships.
ねえオーラ、寮でのミナはどんな感じなの？
I'm not sure how to answer that.
馴染めているかしら。ほら、私もミナもちょっと遠慮されちゃうでしょ。
Oh, that does happen to some extent.
気にするほどでもありませんけど。
There are a few girls who talk to her, though, and she's getting along with Aku-chan, who's the same age as her. Wouldn't you say she's fine?
ええ。クラスで仲の良い方も何人か寮におりますわ。よかった。
It sounded like she's been worried, and she looked positively relieved by our response.
オーラとレイナがいるから心配はしてなかったけどね。
Oh yeah, Mina-chan, you don't interact with Farina at all.
お姉様のお友達とは存じ上げておりますが、それくらいですわね。
Pretty much just a first and second year in the same dorm then. If a busybody like Rina wasn't sticking her nose in Mina-chan's business, it must mean she wasn't all alone.
ねえ、寮でのミナのことは分かったとして、オーラにとってのミナはどう？あら、
That was a rather difficult question to answer.
ミナのことどう思ってる？
Just say a good friend. She's cute, a little scary maybe. She's totally... Okay, I'm saving. No, that's a quick save. What an actual save.
セーブです。
Okay. Whew. That's scary. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay. I'm not clicking it right now, but I'm gonna say she's cute. Oh god. That's funny. I mean, she's obviously cute.
やねえ、ミナってほんと可愛いの。
Oh my god. Oh. Okay, that was a good laugh. She's obviously got a cute face, but everything she does is adorable too.
うんうん、わかるわ。小動物的なね。小動物？
I agree. She's quite majestic, but her little feet go paddle paddle whenever she jogs, and it's super cute. We're hitting all our weak spots.
お菓子とか作ってあげるとすごいちょみちょみ食べるのよね。
Oh, I never seen that.
実はすごい猫舌なのよ。熱いものを作るときしきりにフーフーしてるの。もう
Wow.
やめてくださいまし。
Well, anyway, it's been fun having Mina-chan around.
さあ。妹とオーラが仲良くなってくれて私も嬉しいわ。
I think of her almost like a sister myself. Feel free to call me Oni-chan anytime, Mina-chan.
またあなたたびたびそれを言い出しますわね。
I want a cute younger girl to call me Oni-chan. I'm sure 99% of Japanese men feel the same way.
おお、日本男児の。せっかく日本に来たのだ。日本人のことを勉強したいのだが、そのお兄ちゃんと呼ばれたいというのが日本のスタンダードなので。
Okay, we gotta corrupt this guy now too. 99.9% of men feel sure. Men sure feel that way.
市松殿、この男は騙されやすいので勘弁してください。
Please spare. Okay.
99.9。ほぼ全員に共有する感覚とは驚きです。ソルティレイジュでは兄に相当する言葉を呼びかけるときに使う習慣はないのですが。
Sounds like modifying how siblings refer to each other is unique to Asia. Just like I learned from watching American movies and the like, it was normal for siblings to call each other by their first names.
せっかく日本語を覚えたのだ。体験してみたいな。エロいな。ちょっと呼んでみてくれ。
Oh no.
ん？
Ah, that's great. What a stroke of luck that his beautiful sister was seated beside us.
よくわかりませんが。お兄ちゃん？
Why doesn't it show her?
どうされた色へすごい似たっとしていますが。
いや、なんだろう。これまで感じたことのない感覚に襲われた。
A single word allowed him to experience a newfound appreciation for his sister. That's amazing. Try it on me next, Ellie-san.
私が市松殿に言うのは齟齬があるかと。
Guess you got me there. It would be nothing short of roleplay if Ellie-san, who practically radiate the aura of an older woman, called me Oni-chan. On second thought, I like Mina-chan to say it. Mina-chan.
遠慮します。
The lady in question refused to play along. If you do, I obey any order you give me from now on.
別に呼ばずとも私が望めば あなたには身を粉にして付き従っていただきますわ。
You're right. Scary.
お兄ち
Dot dot dot. Where did that come from, Sylvie?
ゃん、オーラが喜んでくれると思って。お兄ちゃん。
Dot dot dot.
あれ、オーラが晴れ渡った草原を眺めるような無垢な目をしているわ。
Oh no, it's the look that Sylvie's not supposed to look at. I'm totally devoid of emotion when it comes to how you call me Oni-chan. Just now, but your kindness makes my heart feel sunny. It's that sort of look.
残念。
I really like it if it were Mina-chan.
私に兄と呼ばせるということは、ソルティレージュ王室シスアに対する配信とも取られかねませんわよ。
Ugh, the royal family's nitpicking extends this far.
そこまでうるさく言うつもりはございませんけどね。今お姉様が普通にお兄ちゃんって言っちゃったし、私にそう呼ばせたかったらシスア家に入り込むくらいの器が必要ですわ。
Mechanics?
人生の器です。例えばお姉様と結婚して本当に私の兄になるとか。
Why are both of them bringing up me marrying Sylvie? Ah, ha ha ha. Get married to Sylvie. To be perfectly blunt, that was my current goal, so it was pretty hard to laugh. Please don't steer the conversation in weird directions. Sophie's going to laugh at me. ... Or so I assume. But as I force a smile and turn towards Sylvie. She didn't reject it. She didn't say anything. She's blushing. Ah. Sylvie's face had turned beet red and she quickly looked away. What the?
それでみんな寮では。
She's not disagreeing. Sylvie acted flustered for whatever reason and tried to change the subject. Because she likes you. And then, rattled. Accidentally hit the table with her elbow. A knife plopped to the floor. Sylvie forced a smile as if she were silently admitting to her mistake, and her face returned to its usual color.
お願い。
はい。
With a quick flick of her hand, a chamberlain promptly collected the fallen knife, and another attendant brought out a new one. Whoa, that was amazing. Oh, but that's right. This is the way it's done. You're not supposed to pick up anything you drop yourself, are you?
よく覚えていましたわね。
We return to the subject of etiquette. I had seen this on TV, but it was impolite to pick up drop items during multi-course meals in particular. This may be a piece of etiquette that disagrees with me the most. From a Commodore's sensibility, you pick up something you drop on your own.
日本人は責任感が強いからそういう人が多いそうね。
Putting etiquette and whatnot aside, it's more so out of reflex. Having someone else pick up what you drop would just make me feel arrogant.
その気持ちもわからないではないですが、考え方を変えるのが良いかと。食事中は卓の上がすべて、卓の下を見ることは避けるべきと。
I see what you mean. I guess it was easier to accept if you perceived it that way. That is educational.
Yeah.
At some point or another, I got used to carrying on a regular conversation with Iroh-san. I still feel bad if I were to drop something, though. It's something that's drilled into us as Commodores.
あまり変わらないとは思うのだけど、基本的にはこれと同じよ。ねえ、お水をお願い。
かしこまりました。
Sylvie raised her hand and the servants immediately came out with pitchers.
これなら普通でしょ？
Nope, speaking as a Commodore, I still feel bad if Commodores want water. they'll go get it from the sink themselves.
はあ、私たちは食事中に厨房に入ろうとしたら逆に叱られますわよね。
それこそ例のない行為ですからね。
I guess we really just from two different worlds.
そう考えるとオーロとこんなに仲良くなれた偶然にもっと感謝したくなるわ。
I think she wants to become more than friends, though. The conversation had veered in a less than pleasant direction, but nobody seemed different or hesitant about it. We were having a fun meal together. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I was doing a great job. Then,
私も水をお願いします。
はい。
Iro-san held out his glass too. That was when I realized.
あら、そういえばイロエもお水なの？
はい。は
ワインにしたらどうかしら。ジャパニーズワインがいくつかあるそうよ。
あ。しかし。
シルビー様、この席でアルコールというのはちょっと。
Everyone here but Iro-san was a student after all. It would be pretty dicey if he were the only one to drink. But Sylvie said,
いいじゃない。今日のイロエは休日なのだから。ねえ、リストを持ってきてあげて。承知しました。
Sylvie pushed the subject forward of her own accord. Iro-san smiled wearily and didn't argue the point further. However, he didn't appear to dislike alcohol.
そういえば、ジャパニーズワインは初めてです。
They got wineries in Japan too.
日本のお酒は世界的にファンが多いので、海外用に様々な種類を作っているようです。
Yeah, a Japanese rice wine boom. I think I heard something to that tune before. I had heard that Japanese wine, beer, and whiskey were popular across the globe.
ジャパニーズワインも欧州で評判になっています。ただ味は良いのですが、値段が非常に張るとかでブームというほどではありませんが。
Japanese does have pricey land costs to deal with.
山梨という銘柄のワインが良いと聞きました。
Yamasi isn't really a brand. It's just the name of the place it's made.
面白いのよイロエ。山梨はね、山がないという意味の言葉なのに山ばかりの場所にあるの。
おお、不可思議な。
I used to hear jokes like that back when I was a third year in elementary school. The wine came out.
良い香りです。ジャパニーズワイン、侮れませんね。
He seemed to like it.
ねえエル。
ダメです。
じゃあ。
No surprise. Ellie-san would step in to stop you, Sylvie. Have you never drank before, even once?
外交先の習俗によっては飲まなければならないこともあるので、一口二口は練習していますが、公務を外れて飲むことはありませんわね。
Just then, pre-portions must have been completed as the plates of our fish course were taken away. The main course, our meat dish, came out.
さあ、最後の一踏ん張りですわよ。
Yeah. Once this was over, that would only leave dessert. The dessert option was endless, and it would be impossible to guess which would be served in advance. Additionally, there were no real restrictions to speak of in terms of proper dessert etiquette. As far as my etiquette test as a whole was concerned, this meat dish was my final hurdle. ... I took my knife and fork. Floosh. The meat we were served, I believe it was sheep or something, was fairly sizable, yet soft like Clayton. It could be easily cut with a quick slice of your knife. After it was cut into bite-sized pieces, I grabbed it with a fork. Turning one fork in an inward fashion was essential. I brought it to my mouth. Mia-chan nodded her head, seemingly in approval. I was right. Gotta keep this up. When I was done eating, I collected my knife and fork and place them on the right side of the plate.
よろしい。
Why are there hearts?
完璧よオーロ。
Thanks for that. Alright. I was too nervous to enjoy this rare, delicious meal. But now I could help myself to dessert. I cleared the game.
大したものです市松殿。感服いたしました。
Not at all. I helped myself to a freshly poured glass of water to settle my nerves.
シルビー様も明日は負けていられませんね。
そうね。和食のマナー、作法だったかしら。間違えないようにしないと。あらお姉様、明日は何か？ええ、ランチに誘われているの。
I took a drink.
龍蔵寺さんに。ああ、婚約者の。
What? And spat it out everywhere.
大丈夫で？
教えてなかった私も悪いけれど、水を吹き出すのもマナー違反ですわよ。
Cough, cough. Fiance.
あ、
Oh, sorry. Cough, cough, cough.
落ち着いてください。
Cough. Ugh. Water went down my windpipe. I had to calm down. I reached in Ira's direction as he rubbed my back and grabbed his glass. Tug.
あ、それ。
Why is there hearts? Dot. The water I drank was bittersweet and as tang. Why would water taste this way? I emptied the glass in my hand in a single gulp. But purple droplets remained inside. What was this? What was this? Thud. Oxygen flushed back into my lungs that had gone deprived in my coughing fit. What felt like burning steam rose from whatever I had swallowed in that same moment and made my lungs feel like they were on fire. I feel so lightheaded. Cough.
水をあと横になれるように。
Why is it all hearts? I could hear Sophie's and Ellison's voice, fading off further and further into the distance. Ah. And that is where I'm going to end today's episode. This was a great episode. I was dying laughing, as you could tell. But, yeah. This is Visual Novel Gamer here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.